Since the dawn of humanity, we've looked up at the stars and dreamed. Dreamed of what lies beyond our blue planet, of touching the moon, of dancing among the constellations. This isn't just a story of technology. It's a story of a dream that propelled us from the ground to the cosmos. A journey of ambition, rivalry, and incredible courage. So how did we go from simply gazing at the night sky to walking on other worlds? Let's take a trip through time and explore humanity's incredible journey into space. Our story begins in an unlikely place, amidst the chaos of World War II. This is where the V-2 rocket was born. Originally designed as a weapon, its creator Wernher von Braun always saw its true potential. The V-2 was the first man-made object to reach the edge of space, laying the fundamental groundwork for all the giant rockets that would follow. It was a terrifying invention, but it held the key to unlocking the universe. When the war ended, the technology and the brilliant minds behind it, including von Braun, were scooped up by the world's emerging superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. The stage was set for a new kind of competition, one that would take humanity's aspirations to unprecedented heights. The Cold War was raging, and the next battlefield wasn't on Earth, but in the vast emptiness above it. On October 4th, 1957, the world listened in awe and trepidation to a simple, repeating beat coming from orbit. The Soviet Union had launched Sputnik 1, a small, polished metal sphere that became the first artificial satellite to circle the Earth. This single event ignited the space race. The United States, shocked into action, scrambled to catch up, accelerating its own space program. The race wasn't just about scientific discovery anymore. It was about ideological supremacy. Who would conquer this new frontier first? The Soviets kept scoring early victories. They sent the first animal into orbit, the dog Laika, a heroic and tragic pioneer. Then, on April 12, 1961, they achieved the ultimate milestone. Cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin was strapped into his Vostok capsule and launched into history, becoming the first human being to journey into outer space and orbit the Earth. His famous declaration, "Poyakali," or "Let's go," echoed around the globe. He saw our planet as no one had before, a beautiful, fragile blue marble suspended in the blackness. Gagarin became an international hero, a symbol of human bravery and the seemingly limitless potential of the Soviet system. The pressure on the United States was immense. President John F. Kennedy needed a goal so bold, so audacious, that it would leapfrog the Soviets entirely. And he found one. In a famous speech, Kennedy declared that America would commit itself to landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth before the decade was out. It was a monumental challenge. We didn't have the rockets, the computers, or even the basic knowledge to achieve it. But the gauntlet had been thrown down. The Apollo program was born, a massive national effort involving over 400,000 people and some of the most brilliant engineers and scientists in history. The risks were enormous. The Apollo 1 fire, which tragically killed 3 astronauts during a ground test, was a devastating setback that reminded everyone of the life and death stakes involved, but they persevered. And then came July 20th, 1969. The world held its breath as the Apollo 11 lunar module, Eagle, descended towards the moon's surface. Neil Armstrong's calm voice crackled over the radio, "The Eagle has landed." A few hours later, he stepped out onto the lunar dust, delivering one of the most famous lines in history, that is one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. Buzz Aldrin soon followed, and together, they planted the American flag, conducted experiments, and gave humanity its first foothold on another celestial body. It was a moment of pure triumph, a testament to what we can achieve when we push the boundaries of possibility. The space race, in many ways, had reached its peak. While Apollo captured the world's imagination, another quieter revolution in space exploration was also underway. These were the unsung heroes of the cosmos, the robotic probes. Starting in the 1970s, NASA launched the Pioneer and Voyager missions. These weren't designed to carry people, but to be our eyes and ears in the far reaches of the solar system. Pioneer 10 and 11 flew past Jupiter and Saturn, giving us our first close-up images of these gas giants. Then came Voyager 1 and 2, arguably the most successful exploration missions ever. They conducted a grand tour of the outer planets, revealing volcanic moons, strange ring systems, and weather patterns we never knew existed. Each image they sent back was a revelation, rewriting our textbooks and our understanding of our cosmic neighborhood. Attached to each Voyager spacecraft is a golden record, a time capsule of sounds and images from Earth, a message in a bottle cast into the cosmic ocean, just in case someone or something is out there. Today, both Voyagers have left our solar system and are traveling through interstellar space, humanity's farthest-flung emissaries. Back on Earth, the era of intense rivalry began to fade, replaced by a new focus, making space more accessible and collaborative. This led to the creation of the Space Shuttle. First launching in 1981, the shuttle was a reusable spaceplane, a marvel of engineering designed to ferry astronauts and cargo to low Earth orbit and back again. For 3 decades, the shuttle fleet Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour became the workhorse of human spaceflight. They deployed satellites, repaired others, and conducted countless experiments in microgravity. One of the shuttle's most important legacies was the deployment of the Hubble Space Telescope in 1990. After a rocky start with a flawed mirror, a shuttle mission repaired it, and Hubble went on to become the most famous telescope in history, giving us breathtaking views of distant galaxies and nebulae, fundamentally changing our perception of the universe's scale and beauty. The shuttle also enabled the greatest feat of international cooperation in history, the construction of the International Space Station, or ISS. Beginning in 1998, modules built by the US, Russia, Europe, Japan, and Canada were launched and assembled in orbit, piece by piece, like a giant Lego set in space. The ISS is a permanently inhabited laboratory orbiting 400 kilometers above our heads, a symbol that former rivals could work together for the common goal of scientific advancement. For over 2 decades, astronauts from around the world have lived and worked on the ISS, conducting research that's impossible on Earth, from developing new medicines to preparing for future long-duration missions to Mars and beyond. It's a beacon of hope and collaboration, a city in the sky built by the hands of many nations. The shuttle program was retired in 2011, marking the end of an era that had laid the groundwork for the next exciting chapter in our space story. The 21st century has ushered in a completely new era of space exploration, one defined by new players and even bolder ambitions. The biggest change has been the rise of private companies like SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk. With their reusable Falcon 9 rockets, SpaceX dramatically lowered the cost of getting to orbit, revolutionizing the launch industry. We now see rockets landing themselves back on Earth, something that looked like science fiction just a decade ago. This commercial revolution has opened up space for more countries, more companies, and more science than ever before. This new era has also seen a renewed focus on our planetary neighbor, Mars. A fleet of robotic explorers like NASA's Curiosity and Perseverance rovers are crawling across the Martian surface right now. They are searching for signs of ancient life, drilling into rocks, and even flying the first helicopter on another planet. They are the advanced scouts, paving the way for the day when human footprints will follow robotic wheel tracks on the red planet. And just when we thought our view of the cosmos couldn't get any more spectacular, it did. In 2022, the James Webb Space Telescope, the successor to Hubble, began sending back its first images. Webb is an infrared telescope, allowing it to see farther back in time and with more clarity than ever before. It can peer through cosmic dust clouds to see the birth of stars and study the atmospheres of distant exoplanets, searching for the building blocks of life. It's a time machine that is showing us the very first galaxies forming after the Big Bang, answering some of the most fundamental questions about our origins. We are truly living in a golden age of astronomy and space exploration, from the first rocket tests to walking on the moon. From robotic explorers to private spaceflight and telescopes that see to the dawn of time, our journey to the stars has been nothing short of extraordinary. It has been fueled by dreams, driven by rivalry, and ultimately, united by a shared sense of wonder. What started as a race between 2 nations has evolved into a global collaboration. With our sights set on destinations we once only dreamed of, returning to the moon, sending humans to Mars, and perhaps one day venturing even farther, the story of space exploration is our story. It's a story of looking up, of reaching for the impossible, and of discovering our own place in the vast, beautiful cosmos. The journey is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. Thanks for watching. If you were inspired by this journey through space, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.